Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm here playing some standard Rotpriest today. This new set just dropped. Today is February 7th. This will be uploaded probably on the 8th or 9th. I'm not entirely sure. But I didn't record for a little while. The new set came out kind of for YouTubers and streamers to play early. So a lot of videos got made on the new set. So instead of me uploading a video that would go into the void forever because everybody's looking at the new set content, I just waited till today when the set dropped to actually play the set. But we are going to be playing some Simic Rotpriest. This deck is very exciting. It's what I was looking forward to the most probably. And it also is playing a card that hasn't seen a whole lot of love outside of maybe Historic Brawl, which is Ivy. So we'll just start with it. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. So if I target something to buff it or give it hexproof or something, I can make another copy target Ivy, which triggers Rotpriest twice. Or if our opponent tries to remove something, I can have it target Ivy and then protect them both. So then they both get protection that way because it says a player, not just you. We have Storm Chaser Drake, a card that kind of comes in and out of these decks. Mono blue sometimes as well. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell you control, you draw a card. So it's basically our card engine. It's also a threat that can actually get there and finish the job. It's just got flying. But the main part of the deck is Rotpriest. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. Therefore, whenever our opponent targets, they're going to get a poison counter. And our goal is to get them all the way to 10 and win the game that way. We have a lot of protection. As you can see, we have Shore Up, Hexproof, untap it, gives it a 1/1. We have this, so if we need to block, we have Slip Out the back to basically kind of do the same thing, but not to block. It's to more or less protect it from something like Shieldred's Edict, so it's no longer in play at all because Hexproof doesn't matter if we have to sacrifice the creature. Bushwhack helps us find a land. We're on a 20 land count, so we can either use this to find a land if we need to early on turn 1, or we can have our creature fight a target creature we don't control. But then again, this targets a creature. We can make both our creatures fight. 2 creatures get targeted. It can poison them and be the thing that ends the game. Then Taming is Safekeeping, Hexproof, Indestructible, gain 2 life. Tyvar Stand gains Hexproof and Indestructible, but we can pump X into it to make a creature rather large if we need to get through with all the damage. Most likely we won't. Creating Hope to bounce something, maybe time walk them with it, take their entire turn off by bouncing their Shielder back to their hand or their 3-drop back to their hand and make them waste more time. March the Swirling Mist, again, phase out our creatures, phase out their creatures. We can target multiple creatures with this to get multiple triggers from Rotpriest. March of the Burgeoning Light, I think I just murdered that, but exile any number of green creatures to do whatever. Choose target creature with mana value at less than X. Search your library for a creature card with the same name as that creature. Put it onto the battlefield tapped and shuffled. Basically, this is going to tutor out Rotpriest. No surprise there, but if we have one to play, we're going to play this for 2, get another copy out, and go from there. Other draw effects, we have Combat Research. Basically, attach it to a creature, hit a player, draw a card. And then Distorted Curiosity, it costs 2 less to cast. If the opponent has 3 or more poison counters, which that's our goal anyway. So we can kind of play 1 mana draw 2. It's just a 2 of to help kind of fill our hand so we don't run out of gas at any point in the game. But we're going to hop into the game, some ranked. Again, this is Simic. If I said it once, but we are on 20 lands. We have like an Odawara, Beseiju, as far as Headquarters Cycle if we flood, and then a Thran Portal. But other than that, let's hop on into the game. Oh no, my antagonist returns. Please help. Who goes first? This is kind of a cool situation that didn't bring up, I believe, at the beginning here, is we could play as far as Headquarter. I know a lot of people want to play this Rotpriest early, but seeing that they're white, I'd rather them not exile it with, I don't know what the card called. Swords Plowshare. We're going to call it that one. But we get to play it now and actually protect it. So we kind of play off 1 turn. If we're on the play, we can kind of go ahead and go for it, I think. Bank Buster. I don't really care about how much value they get. I might just go ahead and fire this off to target this. but I don't know what sorcery speed removal they would have, or instant speed removal for 1 white. I think it's 2 if I exile a green card. So we're gonna exile this, target this. I'm gonna go get a second Rotpriest. Enters tapped, untapped. Now we have 2. So whenever we target a creature here, we're just gonna get multiple poison counters put on our opponent. So see here, we get 2. We're already at 3. Day left. So we're going to swing both the creatures. I could have played another combat research on this one. But that takes our blue mana away, and I don't want to do that because I want to protect it with shore up. So they're going to go. That was turn 3, 4 poison. Guaranteed. They were probably going to go to 6. And if they targeted 1 creature and I stopped it, they were going to... what happens when you get 10 poison? You get completed? Is that what the lore is? I actually don't know. What happens when you get completed? Because players are generally considered to be planeswalkers. I think in like the layout of the game. But Rotpriest. Oh no. All right. Well, we're gonna keep this. We have Dreamroot Cascade enter tapped if we want it to. I'm not going to play it. That blue Delver. To play around a counterspell like an Estus Scatter, I'm going to go ahead and play this Rotpriest down first. I don't think we're in fear of it being removed in terms of it dying. It could get bounced, but that still puts a poison counter on him, and that's still what we're looking for. A Fading Hope here, potentially. No? Now we have protection. I'm going to just play multiple colors out. I will attack. They can block if they want. You get 1 poison. Nice. We have our protection spell. Does fold to bounce and then a make disappear from them if they are just truly mono blue or in the gate. Again, we're not caring too much. Take my turn. We have 2 Tyvars, so we'll play another untap land. Swing in here. We're going to protect it this turn by playing Tyvar Stand. Most likely, I would assume they're going to try to remove it, and then we get the Curiosity for 1 mana. I'm going to go ahead and go for it. Pay 0. I don't want to put any more into it than I have to. Then on 3, I want to untap and have this all available to me. All right, my turn. Let's play an island, tap this, play Curiosity, see if they counter that. We're basically racing with our 1 mana threats, which is incredibly funny. If we draw into a Bushwhack, we can remove this if we want to. So we have a combat research, we have a March to protect, and we also have a Tyvar Stand. So we're going to put a combat researcher on this. We're going to get 1 poison. They're already at 4. If they target to go to 5, potentially 6. They negate. That makes sense. Don't want us to draw any more cards than we already have. I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna just go ahead and double protect with as much lands as we have. The reason that I'm protecting so much is because I can. I can afford to. Sure. My turn. We found a Bushwhack. Let's fire this off, see what they do. They might counter it because all their spells are cheaper. Two more Bushwhacks. Okay. We're going to play Otawara, I believe, and then we can Tyvar our Rotpriest and then make it fight here. Then I'd have to phase it out. That kind of sucks. I don't really want to do that. What are the odds that I can just kill him on instep potentially? Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to search for a basic. don't have another blue card in hand. It's actually bad. So grab a basic. I'm going to play it as my land drop for turn. No attack. We'll just wait. We have minimum 3 here. We have so much mana untapped. I'll let him swing for 5. Fine. Being hope. They'll get a infect. I'll pay 0 here. Confirm. There's 6. They're at 7. They try to do something again or counter this. I can just march. Effect. Think about counter unless I pay 3. I'm perfectly okay. I believe I'm supposed to hold this march now and just let this get bounced to my hand. Which the only problem with that is if this is a counter spell, it's gonna feel really bad. So I'm just gonna leave it in play. Although this march could be a counter spell, but I'd rather than counter this than anything else. You go to 8. This also stays in play so I can hit him for 1. And then I'll be able to target the Rotpriest and get them all the infect I need. Make this appear. It goes back to my hand. It's not counterable now, so go to 3. Okay, so Odawara, play Rotpriest. They Storm Chaser Drake. We're gonna make a Bushwhack. We're gonna target here to target here. We'll get a poison. We'll draw a card, and then we're gonna Bushwhack again, and then they'll go to 10. And then we can target our Rotpriest now. So the goal, other than this, if I didn't want to play the Storm Chaser, the goal was going to be to cycle the Odawara and bounce this whenever I targeted it to go. But we got there barely, so very nice. Okay. We're on to play. I'm just going to slam the Rotpriest. This is when it's most vulnerable and an argument can be made to just hold it because I can protect it next turn. And one turn's not going to make all the difference in the world. Another mono blue deck potentially. I don't know of any other deck playing Delver. Play Yavimaya. We're going to go ahead and swing. See what happens here. Probably no block for sure. 1 damage and one poison. I'll take the 1. I'm not scared of 1. I'd be a lot more afraid of this. I'm gonna go to combat first to see if they want to try to remove it. That went through, so Fading Hope's kind of off the table. We'll make this appear as an option. We'll slam this. Probably getting countered. I think we can't not go for it with how much value it'll be. It sticks. Okay. Block got so much faster. No reveal there. Just going to be land Hadigen to protect, or just a lot of protection in itself. This might also be like I swing, they block, they shore up it, or they phase it out to slip out of the back their own. But I'm going to combat for sure. I can give it hexproof and I can give it indestructible, which is more important. There goes the 4. Our opponent's in trouble. I'm going to pass. All my spells are instant speed, so I'm not moving. They got a Fading Hope. They take 2 infect for just targeting one of my creatures. I guarantee have it. I have 6 infect right now, no matter what they do, which is kind of crazy to think about. Going to sense up and slow rolling. Kind of. I didn't really think about this being just 6 infect guaranteed. Which is kind of crazy. Wow, that's actually nuts. We just have like 2 of these in play. How much infect it is? They put in the gate on the stack. Sure. Worst part is it doesn't matter. The negate doesn't stop it. Pay 0. We don't want to pay any EX. Do this. Rotpriest, we do all this so they can't do anything in response, but it doesn't matter if they did anyway. Do this. Got it all. When I sat here and thought about it, I was just like, there was 2 in play and I knew that, but I just wasn't ready for it to deal 6 infect, I guess. I don't know. When you're using 1, it's a lot slower, obviously, because it's just 1. But when you cut the opponent's life total in half, it's kind of out of the norm to play around that. So we have a hand finally that doesn't start with a Rotpriest in it. So I kind of want to keep it just to kind of play test how this works out. I have 2 tap lands. Oh, this one doesn't enter tapped, right? Yeah, I'm going to keep. I just kind of want to see how this goes. I could play a Storm Chaser Drake. As far as headquarter, I'm going to be real upset if it's just mono blue for the 3rd game in a row. Alright, it's Simic. We might be playing against the same thing. We're going to name blue here, I think. Pay 1 life. This pay 1 life to use for the blue. Well, I think to use it at all. Yeah, to use it at all is pay a life. Yeah, so we're playing the mirror. Shocker, I know. Combat starts here. They do play Fading Hope, so I'm upset that it didn't use this one. That almost just cost us. Gotta be careful with these type of lands. The pain lands, the auto tapper hates using them for whatever reason. Combat start like the other one. Whenever this combat, I'm gonna go ahead and attack them. If they want to trade it out, they can. I'm up on cards anyway, and now I have a Rotpriest in hand, along with a March. They also might try to protect it here, which I'll Fading Hope it bounce it to their hand. See, they're thinking about it. They'll get to draw a card for doing so. Then it gives it hexproof and a 1/1. But this will actually just kill it. And I'll get to keep it in play. No, I won't, because 2 damage is more than is enough for 2 break. Let's go ahead and bounce it back to their hand. Why not? Fading Hope to the bottom. So far, we've hit the 2 of Sparrows and the 1 of Thran Portal. Starman is in an interesting spot for sure. Now time to see if they play counterspells or not. Most lists that are playing Rotpriest do not. They're a little more all in. We have the Rotpriest in play now. To my understanding, I'm just going to swing in. I want their creature out of play. Sure. And now I'm chilling. I can March my Rotpriest. They play another Drake. Probably going to pass. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to actually exile a card. So I need to be able to... Or back. I need to do 2. I'm going to exile this other March. 2 of these generally enough. Don't need a whole lot more than this. The reason we're doing this is because we also have the shore up to give it hexproof, so even if they try to remove it. They are playing the counterspell version. Okay. That's fine. So I'm going to combat this. Get them to block. They don't block? Okay, I'll draw a card. Brother, I will take the 1 damage. It's fine. Please let me take the damage. So here's the situation we talked about before and why Ivy's so good. Because now if they try to remove any of our threats, we shore up here and it protects there. Although playing Ivy might be slightly a punt there. Although the worst thing they're going to be doing is probably bouncing a lot of our stuff. They are marching our own creature, which is really cool, by the way. When a player casts a spell, resolve. I'm going to take the action, not do anything. Let them be poisoned. I'm going to shore up, give this hex proof. They might counter this, but I'm going to put more infect on them if I can. If we give ours hexproof, they won't be able to get one into play. Which is like a weird thing I didn't really think about in the mirror. Which is cool. So they don't do anything. I want to play this one because I want to just wait, I think. Attacks. Pass. I want to hold this to give this hexproof so they can't do any shenanigans with March. They play an Ivy of their own. Kind of implies to me that they don't have a whole lot going on. Play this. We play it for 0, and we target the Storm Drake. They're going to get 2 poison. I'm going to copy it, target Ivy as well. I'd like to take the action. This is where the 2 poison will come from. Another draw. We hit into the land. He's having indestructible. We can see if they want to trade him off. Now I can't target our Rotpriest anymore. Double block, which assumes going to be a protection spell. Phasing out. Okay. Fine with me. We'll swing. I think this is just a troll. Flooding now. Just not going to attack. I don't have to. We're just waiting for any spell at this point. That attack just tells me that they drew another Ivy. So we wait till they're in step to do this. The only problem is I don't know if there's like some weird card that I should be playing around that I shouldn't just fire this off. I'm just gonna do it now. Right here. I just don't. Listen. I'm gonna defend myself because that's the slow roll. I don't know if there's some random card in the new set. Now I know I was somewhat playing the mirror a little bit, but I don't know if there was some card that can just like stop that from happening. Because Ivy's going to trigger. If they remove Ivy, I don't have a target then, I guess. And then they can do whatever. I don't know. But they can't target my creature at all. So yeah, I don't know why I hesitated. I should have just fired it off. I go first. I have a Storm Chaser Drake followed up by a Combat Research. This is another hand that I don't have a Rotpriest in, but I think it's keepable. Maybe we'll get a different matchup this time around. Play basic island. Pretend that we're on mono blue. Hey Drake. Might be in the mirror again. Who never knows. Sweet sleeves. I like those. We're not in the mirror. Uh-oh. That one sucks for us. So if we might as well talk about it. Limit Cure, if you were to get one or more poison counters instead, you only get one poison counter, and you can't get additional counters this turn. That counters us. They're on top of their game. I have a Rotpriest. They're going to be happy to know that their creature's doing well. But we'll get there. Got flying. Want to draw. Or play Rotpriest. They're going to be pretty excited, I think. The bottom part, I didn't read it, but you can exile it. Choose another target creature or artifact. When it's put into your graveyard this turn, return it to the battlefield under your owner's control. So if they play another creature, they can do something about it. No blocks. I'll take 3. So this is actually good for us. It gives us a reason to target, although they're not going to get 2 poison here, but it gives them an infect. They'll prevent one of it, which is fine. Oh, we can actually fight it now? That's great for us. Or I can bounce it. No, I think do this. A2. Do this. Tap like that. So this is going to give it indestructible and hexproof. Give it a 1/1. We will bushwhack. We're going to fight this, which kind of sucks. Can't really do a whole lot about it. So that'll die. This again has an infect or indestructible, so that's fine. We'll now be able to hit them. Put another infect counter on them now. We have a curiosity to help us out. Do I just combat researcher the Storm Chaser Drake or the Rotpriest? Go ahead and set this on the Drake to make the Drake more of an appealing target to remove. This is the whole turn. They didn't get another poison counter. Oh no, it's this turn. That's wild. Okay, so I guess my plan didn't work out that well, like I thought it was going to. If you were to get one or more poison counters, instead you get 1 poison counter, and you can't get additional counters this turn. So even if you remove this from the from play, they still don't get another infect counter. I just kind of assumed that was only while this creature was in play. That's not how that works. So that's something to watch out for if you are playing Rotpriest, because that's actually really strong. That it'll still prevent even though it's gone. Rotpriest on turn 2. Hopefully we draw a land. Protect it. It's not a tap land. We'll keep. This. Spars. Again, we only have Spars in this cycle. Besiege you, we're going to play it down for a land drop this turn. We'll play a Rotpriest and pass. We have the safekeeping. We have stand. We have shore up. Exile from our graveyard. Sure. Fine. I don't want to get 1/1 against. It's only until end of turn, so I'm not going to worry about it. Untap. Dream Root. Let's see. I can protect. This is one of the hard parts that I don't have enough reps with the deck yet. Should I march this Rotpriest and then combat research? And then have the shore up to protect? And I think the answer is yes. I'm going to. Go for the high roll, you know? Why not? 5R better than Tameo. They're the same. 5R is probably technically better, but I don't really care. I'm going to do this. At this point. Poison, we're going to put in a Rotpriest. Put it on a combat research, so they want to block. They're going to get 2 more poison. If they don't block, I get to draw a card and they get another poison counter. We're low on cards, but they're really close to lethal. Don't. Draw a land. Not the best draw in the world, but it's fine. Fable the Mirror Breaker and they lose. That's kind of crazy. Think about it that way. We draw any other card and we win? No? Okay. So now we go to combat. See how the blocks are. Block 1. Makes sense. We will... No, it's only hexproof, so we'll indestructible this one. We'll take 2 poison. We'll kill 1 creature. Play a land and we'll pass. So they're 8 infect guaranteed. If they target our thing, they lose. Nice. Cool game. Oh, yep. There it is. Rotpriest, our well-balanced card. Nice. Okay. We are here for the post-game wrap-up. Look how many 1-drops we're playing. It's all the way down. I moved them aside before to look at. I did not... In my head, I didn't realize, like, all these were all 1-drops. It was kind of funny to look at. But, so, if you have been playing Standard for a while, and at least these last couple of sets before this one, it's been pretty much a mid-range fest. Everything's mid-range. So, people are able to basically play a turn 3 Fable, the Mirror Breaker, and not lose the game or be really well positioned to win. This deck has basically prevented that. We saw that in the last game that we just played. In a couple of other games. Also, it just makes it really hard on the decks that want to target bounce stuff and like tempo you out. It doesn't really hurt you that much because it helps your game plan. They still get the poison counter and you're fine. You don't really care that much. Rotpriest in and of itself is a problem. This is a beast of a card. It's really good. When I first saw it spoiled, it was one of the situations where I read it 7 times and the wording of it seemed to change every time I read it. Because not only does it give them a poison counter, it has Toxic 1 on itself. It's a 1/2, which is relevant. We saw it a couple of times when our opponent played a Delver. We just attacked into it because it's a 1/2 and we don't trade it off. Normally they're going to take that trade if they can. But because it's a 1/1 being attacked by a 1/2, they just take the poison. And then they try to remove it later. So it's really good. Ivy felt fine. I don't feel like I wanted to play 4. Whenever I had it, it was cool. Whenever I didn't have it, I was also not like advocately looking for it or wanting one at any point. Storm Chaser Drake was actually good. Just it drawing cards, helping us filter through our deck. It having flying, and earlier I played a combat research on the Drake. Got in, it drew me 2 cards, which was super important because it gave us all that we needed for our Rotpriest to get the job done. March of the Swirling Mist, not necessarily required. We have a lot of blue-green protection spells that work really well. This is basically here, if you have a big board, you could target all your creatures and just give them a ton at once. But not super relevant. I think too much. It's good, though, in spots. Also, it can kind of keep you from losing the game by phasing out their creatures. But this March... if you get to do it on your end step, I kind of underrated this card initially when I looked at the deck because I didn't realize it was an instant speed spell. I thought it was a sorcery, but doing it on their end step and just it always being generally 1 mana because you'll just exile a green card, or if you have 2 mana, you just get another Rotpriest in and then you cut their life total in half again, basically. So instead of being at 10, they're at 5 because if you have 2 Rotpriests in play, you only have to target your creatures 5 times. But them also having target Toxic on it, you might get to target them less. But this deck is definitely an early game deck. I could see maybe playing against Mono Black being tough. They make you sacrifice creatures. Instead of doing that, they get to round every spell that you have. Shield Edict would be a problem for sure. And that's why some people are playing a counterspell deck version. I'm not playing any. But you definitely could. I could see why you would want to do that. But overall, deck was good. I think we had a really good win rate today. I lost 2 matches. I might not even have lost a match. I'm not entirely sure, but Other than that, we will call it there. I hope you all enjoyed watching the video, and I hope to catch you later in the next one for some new standard content.